you for taking our time speaking to us on NewsX World. Meanwhile, viewers, more news coming in from the Middle East. We're now learning that Gazan health authorities reported that Israeli forces struck more residential buildings in Gaza City, killing at least 31 Palestinians and prompting many others to flee. This comes as Israel's military tanks are in fact pushing further into the densely populated city. Meanwhile, the Israeli army has released footage showcasing stationary tanks and military vehicles that it said belonged to the 36th Division preparing to enter Gaza City area. Now, witnesses have shared that these tanks were advancing west through Tel Al-Hawa, a southwestern suburb. Additionally, the IDF has stated that it has deployed 36th Division with a ground operation called Gideon's Chariots B, aimed at broadening the latest ground offensive. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also commented briefly on the military expansion in Gaza ahead of a cabinet meeting. Listen in.
לא כל שכן. הכפלנו את ההתיישבות היהודית ביהודה ושומרון ונמשיך בדרך.
Moreover, air raid sirens have sounded in southern Israel when Hamas fired 2 rockets across the border. Now, as per the IDF, one was intercepted while the other fell in an open field, and no casualties have so far been reported from southern Israel. Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast is Professor Rohan Gunaratne, international security expert, joining us live from Singapore. Thank you so much for taking our time speaking to us on NewsX World. A slew of developments coming in from Gaza. We do know that the death toll since the 7th of October 2023, after the war broke out, has crossed more than 65,000 in Gaza. The situation on the ground is quite dire as humanitarian aid is needed. There are reports by the United Nations that people are very likely to suffer from famine as well. There are already existing reports of malnutrition, especially that of children that have come to fore. What, in your assessment, needs to be done in order to expedite the aid transfer?
Hamas is controlling the distribution of relief supplies, especially food. What is so important for the international community, especially the world leaders, is to do 3 things. One is to ensure that the hostages are released. Second is to ensure that Hamas is disarmed. And most importantly is to make sure that Hamas does not have a hand in controlling the aid and the food distribution. As long as Hamas is active, it will control the relief and the food supplies in Gaza. Second is that the recognition of the Palestinian state is a good thing, but the timing is all wrong, because now the Hamas leaders are saying that if not for the October 7th, 2023 attack, Palestinian statehood would not have been recognized. So I believe that this is the right time for the Western leaders to better understand the ground reality. The IDF is on the ground, and IDF has started to demolish the Gaza City. So this will lead to a bigger conflict unless the leaders of the Western world work very closely with the leaders of Palestine, the Palestinian territories, as well as Prime Minister Netanyahu. There is a dispute, a discord between leadership, and that is what has resulted in this emerging calamity.
Indeed, and speaking of the tensions that are existing in the Middle East broadly, what repercussions do you think will be there on Israel as far as the Abraham Accords are considered, in particular if Israel continues its offensive on the ground?
Israel will continue its military operations because Hamas is holding its hostages. Hamas has not agreed to release those hostages. As long as that is the case, Israel will continue its operations. And what is so important today is to ensure that there is supply of sufficient food and relief directly to the people of Gaza. Otherwise, they will suffer. Finally, the Western leaders that are recognized in the Palestinian state should establish a dialogue with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Otherwise, there will be more. IDF will enhance its operations to demolish Gaza City. Gaza will be uninhabitable.
All right, so I request you to stay on with us. We're tracking further developments. Now, according to the Lebanese government,